Yeah.
He has moments against all the best fighters in the world, especially early. And you got to remember.
They're cheering for my man, David Goggins. Listen, David Goggins put him through hell, and he said he's the only guy that ever survived Hell Week. Tony showed up every day. Yeah. Now, the question is that really what he needs? I don't know.
Tony's cardio's always been great. Always been great. Guys, here are my keys. Right here. For Tony Ferguson, he's got to use his punches to close the distance, because when he closes the distance, he can use all of his weapons, including the elbows. He's got to be violent. Not only punches, he's got to be dropping elbows like he did against Cerrone. Cerrone's eye blew up because he was slicing and dicing him with those elbows like El Foucault says. And he's got to remember who he is. You are Tony Ferguson. You are one of the best of all time in this division. You are a guy that held the interim championship. Show this young man that he doesn't belong in there with you.
All right, ready to go with Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. Tail the tape brought to you by VeChain, the official blockchain of UFC. Tony Ferguson will be 40 in February. Paddy Pimblett, 28 years of age. Ferguson is taller by an inch. Both fighters coming in half a pound below the divisional limit, 3.5 inches in reach for the former interim champion, Tony Ferguson. All right, now for the particulars, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 20 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Liverpool, Merseyside, England, Paddy the Paddy introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a 3-star fighter holding a professional record, 26 wins, 9 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Orange County, California, presenting the former interim UFC lightweight champion, Tony Ferguson. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Smith.
Well, some suggest the most basic human need is to feel appreciated. Tony had to feel that, but he needs a W tonight. Thank you, Brooklyn Wren. Social media post tonight brought to you by Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom, only in theaters December 22nd, rated PG-13. Tony Ferguson, the +270 underdog at close. Paddy Pimblett, the -340 betting favorite. He's in red. Ferguson is in white.
Paddy said he spent a lot of time making sure he keeps his chin down when he's striking. He said he listened to the commentary and he said, I've got to make sure I'm not leaving myself in danger.
Good low kick by Paddy. Oh, Tony caught him with the right hand. Tony has gigantic hands.
Huge. Yes, dude. It was like when he was on his run, he was bludgeoning guys.
Yes.
Like with jabs.
Yeah. Just everything he hits you with hurts. Go back to the Pettis fight and watch it.
Nice body kick by Pimblett. Early shot from Paddy. Ferguson wise to it. Pimblett going out of this southpaw stance here early. Inside leg kick connects. Pretty good counter right from Ferguson.
Good body kick.
That's 2 of them so far from Paddy.
And another calf kick.
He's having trouble getting to Tony with his hands, and he's finding success with his kicks.
Good connection by Ferguson there. Knee from Pimblett.
Tony seems more patient tonight, really finding his shots, opposed to just trying to overwhelm his opponent.
Good right hand to the body by Ferguson.
UFC Strike Now is the only place to prove your UFC fight knowledge. Make free weekly picks as to who's going to win the fights and win rewards. And at UFCstrike.com.
jab by Tony.
And Tony's got really long arms for a guy that fights at 155.
The real question with Tony in this camp, though, he's doing all this work with Goggins, he's doing all this conditioning, which certainly will give him confidence in his mental toughness, but what about fight-specific training?
Yeah.
What has he been doing? Like, what has he been doing in terms of sparring? What has he been doing in terms of drilling? Does he need that?
He's been in the game so long, right? It's like a lot of times when you've been in the game that long, you're not going to change.
Oh, he got clipped. Oh, he clipped him. He clipped him with that left hand.
That lead leg of Ferguson is really welted early. Ferguson on the retreat.
Paddy's on him now.
Paddy looks good.
Nice left hand from Ferguson keeps him at bay.
Paddy is fighting like a man who wants redemption.
Yep.
Like he's been suffering from all the taunts on social media and all the people that said he's overrated from his last fight. But again, I can't say that enough. I think it's because Jared Gordon's that good.
Yeah, Jared Gordon's good. And it was a close fight.
Oh, Tony's got his head straight up, and he's looking to counter, but he's getting clipped by these punches by Paddy.
DC, you suggested earlier this week Pimblett had to approach round one this way.
Yeah, you had to. I think that if he wants to get everything out of this, because it's a bit of a lose-lose situation, right? You win, you beat the guy in Tony Ferguson who everybody loves. If you fight him close, then you just beat a guy that's lost a whole bunch of fights in a row in his first fight.
Which ankle was it that he had surgery on?
It's his right one.
Because the right one just buckled. He just threw a kick and fell backwards, and it looks like he's... Oh, there's some connections there.
As it goes down. Pimblett thinking submission, perhaps.
What a war. Look at this. Pimblett's all over him.
Ferguson gives up the back.
I mean, Paddy Pimblett is just...
He is all over Tony. He's all over Tony. If he can submit... Oh, look at this. He's got him flattened out. Big shot from Paddy. Tony's in real trouble. Real trouble.
And you can see all that frustration Paddy was having this week in regards to Ferguson coming out.
Tony's trying to scramble. He's almost back to his feet, but Paddy recovers.
Tony will not quit on himself. That's one thing Tony will not do is quit. He's a warrior, man. He's going to keep trying to fight.
He's going to make it out of the bell.
Not done yet. Corner Camp is brought to you by Prime Hydration, the fastest growing beverage in history with only 25 calories, zero added sugar, BCAAs and electrolytes now available at Walmart.
Focus. Breathe. You're okay. Focus. Settle down. There's nothing you can teach. I'm not this low when you're exiting. You attack right when you're exiting with your left hand low. And he keeps firing that right hand over the top as you disengage your front. You got to exit with your hands up so you keep popping up. Right
It's that right hand. Stunned him. Another right hand stunned him. And the jumping knee. That one really hurt him. And Paddy just swarms him.
Tony, get your focus back. Lock the fuck back in, Tony.
2024 kicks off with the UFC Fight Night from the Apex Saturday, January 13th. The controversial end to their fight this year will be settled as Magomed Ankalaev faces Johnny Walker in the main event. First fight night of 2024 on ESPN Plus, January 13th, main card at 7 p.m. Eastern.
All right, guys, fight.
All right, round two is upon us. We'll see the extent to which Ferguson has recovered.
That was a big, big round for Paddy Pimblett. Dominated him on the ground, hurt him on the feet, had him rocked.
Get EA Sports UFC 5 now and play as beloved MMA icons with Alter Ego's Pride, plus receive an exclusive holiday offer until December 30th.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you've seen tonight the undeniable athleticism of Paddy Pimblett. Could have been in the UFC a lot earlier.
Also, the improvement of Paddy Pimblett. He just looks way better. I mean, in this time off, he's been working. Oh, but Tony's nasty off his back with elbows and with triangles.
the interim championship over Kevin Lee.
Tony in full guard is very different, very different. He's dangerous in full guard, dangerous with submissions. He's very good defensively from this position.
If I'm Pimblett, with the success I'm having on my feet, I might let him go. Because right now, Tony is still so dangerous off of his back. The danger doesn't seem...
Paddy clipped him with that right hand.
Yeah, bounced his head off the canvas. Now working him towards the fence.
There's a lot of blood. I think it's coming from Paddy.
It is.
He's going with rubber guard here. He went to mission control. He's trying to set up the triangle. Mission control is him holding his left leg with his right arm. He let it go here. Paddy just cracked him again.
Ferguson getting away with a couple fence grabs there.
He doing it with his hand and his foot.
Yeah.
His hand and his foot. Man. Tony Ferguson trying to win out here.
Well, he's definitely not going to win from the bottom unless he submits him.
Yeah, it's your win.
He's got to try to get back up to his feet, in my opinion. Get his hands on the hips and push Paddy Pimblett off and explode. Paddy just dug a good right hand to the body.
Yeah, Pimblett content to just pound away here.
Tony's doing a good job of controlling posture here, and he's digging his knee into Paddy Pimblett's neck. See that? He's using that grip to dig that knee into the neck. It's a terrible position for Paddy, but Paddy broke free.
Oh. Tony's trying to time elbows when Paddy's kind of going in. Pimblett's bleeding very bad now.
Very bad.
Yeah, looks like it's just still coming from the nose, though.
Yes.
But now Paddy's free. Now Paddy's going to try to pass guard.
Mark Smith doing a nice job allowing the fighters to work.
Beautiful pass there by Pimblett. But even there, watch Tony. Look at Tony trying to recover his guard here. Tony does just enough to try to give himself back the position that he's most comfortable in, right? Which is full guard. He does just enough as Paddy's trying to advance.
Well, he's very good defensively from here, and he can land elbows from his back, but it's not going to be enough to stop the fight with Paddy on top of him, raining big shots.
1 minute here to go in round two. It's been all Paddy Pimblett largely.
And great second round, a lot of control, great ground and pound. He really is fighting a good fight against a motivated Tony Ferguson, who looks better than he has in his last few fights.
Tony's got the feet on the hips now. He's got to explode and push him off.
Well, he can't extend here.
He keeps doing that thing where he puts the knee into the neck and uses that gable grip around the back of Paddy's neck. See how he's doing that? He's trying to drive that knee into his face. It sucks, but it's not going to make you tap.
No. There are so many things in the octagon that are uncomfortable.
Yes.
But just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's going to help you win the fight.
And Tony was reaching for a Kimura there, but Paddy recognized it.
Essentially a full round of control for Paddy Pimblett. Round three coming up this corner. Canvas brought to you by Prime Hydration, the fastest growing beverage in history with only 25 calories and 0 added sugar. BCAAs and electrolytes now available at Walmart.
Long strikes.
Don't be afraid to get in and throw these fucking elbows. He threw elbows the whole fucking
It's the last round. It's the last round. Power.
This is your career.
Long aggression right now. You understand? This is it. Hands high, chin down, locked into that mouthpiece. Exiting with our hands up.
Throwing wide looking hooks. I want you to
go back to getting his fucking legs. Blind him with that jab and chop his fucking legs. But everything we're doing is long and strong right now.
5 minutes for your fight. This is your career. Come on.
Come on.
2023 UFC Year in Review hour-long special premieres Christmas Eve, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. DC and I will be joined by Chael Sonnen. We'll talk about the best and brightest stars of the year. Also an exclusive interview with Sean O'Malley, UFC President Dana White, on the year that was, and a look ahead to a massive 2024. Don't miss our conversation on a year to remember. All right, third and final round. Paddy Pimblett is in red. Tony Ferguson is in white. Personal best in terms of significant strikes landed for Paddy Pimblett. You might have heard his corner say speed over power.
Good uppercut there by Tony.
Good uppercut there for landing from Ferguson.
Tony cannot afford to go to the ground again with this kid. Paddy's been dominated from the top position.
Not off of his back. Because when Tony's on his back, he is too content with holding on to full guard.
I don't think, but my wonder is whether or not he can, now he's on top. He doesn't want to go to the ground.
Look at Tony.
Interesting.
Pimblett looks fatigued to me, boys.
Yeah, it may very well be. He might have tried to finish that fight. He does look fatigued now, John. Oh, real fatigued.
Tony's not tired.
No. Now this is where all that Goggins work will pay off.
Dean Thomas, talk to us.
Not only is he fatigued, but I think he's compromised from his nose. As you can see, he's holding his head up as if he's trying to keep his nose stable. So Paddy could be in trouble now. Like if Tony's going to take advantage, he's got to do it now.
He's good now. Because Tony's going to be okay here. Tony will accept this thinking he's going to find a submission opposed to being desperate a bit
to get back up to his feet.
Yeah. If he got up to his feet right now, Paddy would be in a lot of trouble because that last takedown might have been his last big burst that he has left in the gas tank.
The problem is Tony's never been that good at getting off of his back.
Because he wants to play that.
He's trying to submit you. Yeah. He's looking for rubber guard here again.
Figured to be a long 3 minutes for Paddy Pimblett trying to grapple his way to a victory over Tony Ferguson.
Tony's got to force a scramble here. He's got to try to get back up to his feet. He's just got to. And for Paddy, this is an excellent thing for him. He was fatigued at the beginning of this round. If he can hold Tony, and especially if he can advance past half guard and start landing shots. Halfway through.
Pimblett activity.
If he stands him up, Paddy's done.
Paddy needs to do something, though. He has to make sure that Mark Smith doesn't take this position away from him.
Yeah, I don't see Mark doing that. I think as long as he stays active.
Mark seems to be getting close.
Mark's let you get close.
He's an excellent referee.
Can't let you get close.
No, you guys. Oh yeah, like remember Chael told Vandalay, I can't let you get close, Vandalay.
Last submission win for Ferguson off of his back, Kevin Lee in 2017. Last win for Ferguson over Donald Cerrone in 2019. At the time, his 12th in a row.
All Paddy has to do this is do this, he wins this round. Yep. He wins this fight. Now's Tony's chance. Yep. Now's his chance.
He's kicking.
Nice job by Pimblett to fight through.
You can't settle, Tony. Let's go. We gotta get down. We gotta move down, boys. Make the space.
I mean, the corner's telling Tony all the right things.
They're telling him all the right things.
Yeah.
He's just not able to do it.
They said you can't settle Tony. You gotta create space. Space is what allows you to get back to your feet. And Tony's not doing that.
Final minute of the fight. Coming up on 8 minutes of ground control time for Paddy Pimblett.
Possible arm and guillotine here. Possible arm and guillotine. Didn't connect his hands. He's trying to connect his hands. He's fishing. No, it's not there. He's going to pop in.
30 seconds to go.
That crowd was screaming for it, though, weren't they?
They were a little hopeful.
He's got to pull out a Paul Craig here.
usual, but Paddy Pimblett seemingly the better man over those 15 minutes tonight.
Early in the fight, it was the striking of Paddy Pimblett that really put him ahead. He showed that his speed and his aggressiveness was far too much for Tony Ferguson to handle. Jab, right hand, another right hand. He had Tony hurt very bad in the first round. But then when we got into round 2 and round 3, it was all grappling from Paddy Pimblett. Look at that. He elevates, rotates, and spins Ferguson down. This was what he needed to do to finish the fight and win the fight, because Tony was getting him a bit fatigued, but big performance by Paddy.
All right, well, for more than 2 years, ESPN and E60 documented Chris Weidman's incredible effort to return to the octagon after a leg injury that none of us will forget. Now, the full story is being told. Chris Weidman, The Return, premieres tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and immediately following on ESPN+. So it will be interesting to hear what Paddy Pimblett was dealing with in terms of that nose, but the official decision is in. It's brought to you by Bandai Namco's Tekken 8. Fist Meets Fate when the King of Fighting Games returns on January 26th. Experience it on PlayStation 5. Here now, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Paddy the Paddy
I'm here with the winner, Paddy Pimblett. Paddy, first of all, congratulations. This fight for you kind of wanted a redemption, and you got that opportunity tonight against a legend.
An absolute legend, no. Everyone give a round of applause this year for Tony fucking Ferguson. Legend. Absolute legend of the sport. Legend of my division. And it's a fucking honour to share the cage with him. And Jesus Christ, man. How did he survive that first round there? I blew me load trying to get him out of there.
It was a rough one. You dominated him in the grappling exchanges, though. Was that surprising at all, and was that part of the game plan coming in here? How did you think this was going to play out?
Well, that was part of the game plan, you know. A couple of weeks ago, I got my 2nd degree black belt, and I haven't shown me grappling much in my UFC fight, so we thought we'd put it to work.